What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. Today we're gonna look over Ambitious Tywin, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on whether I think he's worth it or not. So let's just go in here. Go ahead and preview his skills first, and then we'll go look at his base stats. He has the same base stats as Fallen Cecilia, if I remember correctly. Alright, so his S1. Icy Sword Storm attacks with a sword with a 60% chance to provoke for 1 turn. Removes 4 souls from the opponent. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health. So I will go and I will look at the modifiers too. And maxed, I believe this goes, yeah, to 75% chance. Pretty simple looking attack. Provokes.
So you
Great.
learned nothing from last time.
So his passive Battle Command has, let's just say 100% chance to dispel 1 buff from all allies when the caster is debuffed after being attacked. Can only be activated once per turn. I don't know if you guys saw the clip where they revealed him, but basically Bassar hit him, debuffed him, and he cleansed the unbuffable off the entire team. It's a pretty powerful ability, I think, but mind you, for it to go off, he has to get debuffed. There is a 15% chance that your Tywin here just won't get debuffed. And everybody else will. And he won't cleanse it. So keep that in mind. And here's his S3, Flash. Attacks all enemies with an instant Sword Storm. With a 65% chance maxed out. That goes up to what, 80? Yeah. 80% chance each. So it's 80% chance for one, 80% chance for another, not 80% chance for both at the same time. So you can hit one and miss the other, obviously. To decrease speed and make them unhealable for 2 turns. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health. Soul burn it. Decreases the cooldown by 2 turns. For 10 souls, that's not too bad. I just don't think this ability fits into his kit, really.
It's not too late to beg for your life. I'll destroy you.
And the modifiers really aren't that great. I've looked at them, but I'm not exactly sure what they are. I think it's like 0.65 and 12% of HP, something like that. And I think this is 10% of HP and 0.6. It's my guess. I will double check, but... Alright, so we can see his multipliers here, right? So, yeah. I was right here. 0.6, 1 POW. So, 0.6 of his attack. Plus 10% of his health. Which isn't bad. This is, like, it's basically the same as Valencia, right? And then, yeah, this, not that great. He actually does less damage with his skill 3 than Valencia does. So he's not going to be doing a lot of damage. Scroll down and look at Fallen Cecilia. Like, she can hit pretty hard, though. So I guess we'll just have to see. I mean, his S1 will probably be hitting harder than FCC's. This is probably a similar amount of damage. Just because of the 95 POW here. But Cecilia probably does a bit more overall damage than he will with his S3. So if you want to go bruiser route, I think you can. But I don't think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's better to build him fast. Take advantage of the soul removal in like RTA if you're really going stall heavy. And you don't want your opponent to... Like, he's a counter pick to maybe Dark Corvus if you can build him really fast. But how many Dark Corvuses do you see in RTA? Because I hardly see any of them. And I'm up in Master. So, yeah. Yeah. So there's all of his abilities. Let's back out and look at his base stats here. I'll just go look at Fallen Cecilia in the journal. Let me double check and make sure they are the same before I go and do that. I believe they are.
Welcome to the Infinite Library.
Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Okay, so yeah, they have the same base stats. All heroes will go to dark. Actually, I wonder if he's in the journal. Just look at him in the journal. Doesn't look like he is. So yeah, let's look at Fallen Cecilia. Alright, so obviously the base attack's low, right? decent defense, kind of below average speed, good health. So these are tanky stats, right? No bonus crit, no bonus crit damage, no bonus effectiveness, none of that. So, really not much to look at in his base stats, really. You just build him tanky. And with 104 speed, you can go fast, but not as fast as you would like to. I have Fallen Cecilia built. Like, mine's 220 speed right now without my best speed gear. So, it's possible to get into those higher thresholds of speed, right? But, like, this is kind of like the build I think you would put on Tywin. Something similar to this. I don't think he needs this. Well, yeah. I think you would kind of want a good amount of effectiveness on him. So you could go this route really fast. You can have him hold any of the Knight artifacts. Adamant Shield, Arius, Elbrus, I'm sure he's fine with as well. And you could either do like a fast disabler build so he uses his S1 more often to really rid those souls off your opponent. Or you could go a bruiser type build. I don't know how well a bruiser type build would be on Tywin personally. People build Bruiser, Fallen Cecilia, and their mods are kind of comparable. So he might be able to pump out some decent damage. Maybe if you didn't like a ton of speed. So if I did something like this, for example. His base attack's really low. Doesn't benefit a lot from base attack. But we're going Bruiser, so why not? You can either run speed boots or HP boots, right? So not super fast, but good HP, good crit damage. There's probably a different chest piece I could wear here. But the base speed's really low, so not having speed boots is kind of not good. Or not as good as you would like. But if you're just looking to do like decent damage with them, and then take advantage of Elbrus procs, maybe you could run a build kind of like this. Something like this maybe. And you could always change out the boots for speed boots, right? So, like this, for example. Pretty good build, right, for a bruiser. About 185 speed. Lacking a little bit of crit, but that's okay. Lacking some effectiveness, but that's okay. But you're just looking to hit hard with your S1, right? But, I don't know. Either one of these builds is kind of how I assume he's going to be used. Something similar with these stat lines. I just, like, for my personal thoughts, I don't think he's that great. And I'll kind of just talk about why real quick. He's made the counter Basar, right? But if you put him on your defense, like, people just aren't going to attack you with Basar. You know? So I guess it might deter Basars from hitting you from, you know? But it doesn't stop, like, people from just JK-saying you without Basar, right? There's just not enough team slots to stop everything that wants to hit you. So he's just kind of weird. I don't think he does enough in his kit to be like really useful. And this just does not fit him. I don't see what the point of him doing an AoE with like 2 random debuffs has anything to do with him being like a support here and then kind of like a support here because he reduces souls, you know? You would think you'd have him in RTA, but I think in the long run, like, this could be very good, like a very good deterrent for debuffers, right? But what else does he do aside from that? Like, he can remove souls in a longer fight consistently, right? But then, like, that's all he's doing. Like, what else does he contribute? I guess if you can push a good bruiser build, he might be useful. Because he brings utility, he brings the soul removal. So if you're looking to stretch a fight out, you get to use more soul burns than your opponent in RTA. That's kind of just what I see him being used for. I don't think he's like, you absolutely need this unit, you know? Fallen Cecilia is way better than he is. In comparison. Like, they have the same base stat line, right? But Fallen Cecilia is in a different league than he is. Skill null. This barrier is fat. Like, this barrier is huge. 100% provoke. Right? Tywin, 75% provoke. A dispel that has a 15% chance of just not happening at all because he doesn't get debuffed. Decrease speed and unhealable, which is okay. They're good debuffs, but I think if there was like a CR push on top of this, then he'd be more useful. My opinion, like 25% push CR. Then I think he'd be good. As he is now, I don't think he's that great. I think he's very handsome. I really like this. Like, his armor's sick. Long blonde hair. He's like, you know, kind of reminds me of like Link, Siegfried, you know, those kind of heroic knights. Kaelin from the first Dragon Age. Kind of like that. So, those are my thoughts on him. Do I think you should pull for him? I mean, if you have a ton of mystics and you like his aesthetic, I would say pull for his aesthetics, not for his kit, if you really want to pull for him. I mean, he can be good. I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't think he's on the same level as Fallen Cecilia. So, like, if you're trying to debate whether you should pull now or pull later, you should definitely pull now. And I still think if you're going to pull later, make sure whatever's right here is something you also want. And if there's nothing that comes that you really want, wait and see who pops in here next. I mean, yeah, it sucks to sit on these for a month, but I'm going to be doing it right here with you. I don't think I'm going to pull for them. Unless something down here is here that I really want. I just don't see the usefulness in this. He's not going to be very good in Guild War. Defense or offense. Because removing souls in Guild War offense does literally nothing for you. The Dispel's nice, but that's all he does. One thing I will mention, pretty good combo with Elena. So if you do have him in Guild War defense, you can, or not in Guild War, in Arena defense, you can pair him with Elena, strip the unbuffable, give yourself invincible. That's one notable combo, but I don't think he's like anything to go nuts over, personally. So, that's my thoughts. Gonna get this uploaded for you guys before he goes live so you guys know, in case you're interested in what I think about him. And like if you enjoyed, let me know if there's any other videos you want to see down in the comments. And if you're new here, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later.
Fuck.